I think the judges got it wrong. I think they chose to ignore all of the explanations that were given because, in the very first hours of this trial, I had understood that the court was biased against us. I did not think that the magistrates would go this far against our democratic process and interfere this much with the choice of the French. Let's be clear, I have been silenced, but it's the voice of millions of French people that have been silenced as we speak tonight.
Let's get the latest now with Bloomberg's Connan in Paris, of course, who has been following all of these dramatic events for us on the ground. Caro, what else has the leader of the National Rally, Marine Le Pen, been saying on the result that has come through from the courts in France?
Tom, you saw these pictures from earlier in the day yesterday when she was leaving the courtroom early before the verdict was pronounced. She looked exasperated at the judge's ruling. And when she came on TF1 last night, the soundbite that you just heard, she looked different. She looked very combative. She had the look of someone who's not going to give up, even though, of course, for many out here, it also means denial. She said she was very far from leaving the political scene, that it was a disastrous day for French democracy. She repeated that the court ruling was a political decision. You heard the word biased. She said the judge clearly wanted her from the beginning to ban her from running in 2027. When the case, in Marine Le Pen's view, is just some sort of administrative disagreement without any personal enrichment. And when asked whether Jordan Bardella, the current president of the National Rally, was a plan B, Marine Le Pen said he was a great asset for the party, but they didn't want to use this asset too early, too soon, clearly meaning that at this stage she wasn't seeing him as a replacement for these next presidential elections. Her very thin hope, a very thin chance of running is that, of course, she's going to appeal. Usually an appeal in France takes 18 months to 2 years. The presidential elections should happen in April 2027, so in just 2 years from now, and she can register as a candidate up to 1.5 months before the first round. So she still hopes there is a tiny chance that the appeal could possibly take place before the elections.
What other reactions have we been hearing, Caro, from domestically and internationally as well to this verdict?
You know, Tom, there was a sense of sideration across the political spectrum in her camp, of course, but also outside her camp here in France. Even some politicians from the center-right saying they didn't really understand why she wouldn't be able to run. Of course, Macron's line was very much, we follow the judge's decision, we have to respect the justice, she's a citizen just like any others. We had a lot of international reactions from abroad, interestingly from Donald Trump, who kind of compared himself to Marine Le Pen, saying it was a big deal and it kind of reminded him of his country, because there is a little bit of a Trumpification of French politics at the moment. She's playing the victim, and remember, Donald Trump still managed to get a second term, even with a flurry of criminal cases against him. We had a lot of international reaction, of course, from the far-right leaders across Europe. We heard from Geert Wilders, the Dutch far-right leader, saying he was shocked. And in Hungary, the Hungarian Prime Minister posted quickly on Twitter, "Je suis Marine."